Hiya, Lottie here. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's video. As you can see, we are doing a PenPal video and I am replying to my good friend Julie. And I'm just basically getting straight on into it. As you can see, I went through my traveler's notebook of my pre-written letters and now I am just decorating the letter pages. So what I do is I actually pre-write my letters where I can sit and write them as I reread the letter and I'm nice and relaxed and not being filmed and that way if I make any mistakes it's on a separate piece of paper, and it means I've also got a copy of my letter as well as their letter. So what I do is then I gauge how many pages I'm going to need and then I just start decorating, or I create a digital letter page and print it off. But today I am decorating the pages and I'm using this vintage ledger paper as my letter paper, and I'm just going in and I'm decorating it in a vintage style. I really wanted to do a sort of envelope stack type letter for this Happy Mail. I really wanted to make it look like it was a stack of letters rather than just one letter, and so that's my goal for today, and I'm going to be using several different sizes of envelopes to package this Happy Mail. But obviously to start with I'm just decorating the letter pages with these different vintage styled things and as I go I'm also popping one or two bits and bobs that I'm using to the side in this little box docket thing, and these are the things that I'll be including in the Happy Mail to send to Julie. So what I like to do is when I use something in the letter I like to pop a little sample of it aside to include as an extra with my letter, and then if I feel like that's not enough I will go and add a few bits and bobs more that I didn't use in the letter. But I like to always have a few pieces that I've used to be included as gifts, so that should she see something on the letter or the envelope and she really likes it, she has a little piece of it to use as well. So as you can see I'm just randomly grabbing things. I've got no kind of image in mind. I'm just collaging and adding decoration as I go. I don't really map things out so much. I'll maybe think of a theme or a colour or something like that, but for the most part it's winging it for me anyway. I usually pick some sort of theme, whether it be a vintage theme or a flower theme or a coloured theme. I'll pick something that'll kind of help me stay in the guidelines of somewhat a sort of style, and then I will just kind of wing it and grab things from my stash and add them as I go to suit that theme. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. Excuse me. And I'm loving these brown doilies. I absolutely love these, like, not coffee coloured so much. I have lighter ones that I would say are more coffee coloured, but I love these brown doilies. I got them from AliExpress, and I just love doilies in general. But I'm also using quite a bit of washi tape and pet tapes and things like that, and I'm just, like I said, I'm just winging it. I'm just putting down what I think is nice and just decorating it with the vintage theme that we all love. And I'm going to do that for all 4 pages. I always use both sides of the page for my letter, as it's a lot easier than using 4 separate pages. It creates less bulk, and I like to use quite thin pages for my letters so that they're not taking up too much space in the Happy Mail, and it makes more room for goodies essentially. But yeah, so I'm going to shut up now and let you enjoy the rest of the decorating, and I will pop back in once that's done. So that's us on the final letter page, and I'm just going in with a few more pieces of my brown doilies. You really can't go wrong with the doily. It definitely adds beauty to a page, no matter the colour or what the page is for. I think a doily is just automatically pretty. It's just so lacy and it just adds so much beauty very effortlessly. So yeah, I'm just going in and adding a couple of more doilies to this page before I add the rest of the decorations. But I would love to know how everyone's doing, and I hope you're enjoying the video so far. Do you send out letters yourself? Do you like to send out happy mails? Do you include extras or just the letter? I'd love to know. Is anyone looking for pen pals? It would be nice to use the comment section down below for you to meet each other. But yeah, I would love to hear from you down there. I love reading the comments and I always reply to my comments. But as you can see, I'm now going in with some scraps of embossed paper. It's this little folder here. I pop any little scraps of embossed paper so they're all together. And then I'm just kind of going through these different frames to add a frame. They're all pretty much the same, except they're just different colours. Some have little bits of shimmer and things going through them. Really pretty. So I settled on this sort of coffee coloured doily, and then I'm adding some distress ink to my embossed piece of paper. I love how embossed paper kind of comes alive the minute you put distress ink on top of it. And then I've got this really pretty sticker here of a stack of books. So I'm kind of just playing around with what I want to go in that corner, but I end up just settling on those books because, let's face it, they're gorgeous. And I'm using my Pritt stick for pretty much everything in this. The odd thing, like for instance the frame, I'm going in with my tape roller, but for the most part I am using the glue stick. I recently learned that apparently double-sided tape only lasts for about a year and then it kind of dries up. So I've been using my glue stick more and more due to that. Although it is more convenient to use the double-sided tape, I want these letters to last longer than a year. So I don't mind using it on things like the frame when the stickers and things are going to be on top of it, helping it to stay in place. But for the most part, I am using my glue stick. And I love these circle dot stickers. I got this box from AliExpress and it has a ton of these circle stickers and various different neutral colours. You can get them in different colours like blue and purple and pink and things like that. However, I really like the brown colours, so that's what I chose. And I think that they just add so much to the page. And then I've got this beautiful lady sticker that again I got from AliExpress. And she's quite tall, which is nice. She takes up quite a bit of the doily part that I put down, the space around it anyway. And I don't know, she's really pretty. So I'm just going through my sticker book, which is where I keep all my pet tapes that I've cut out. I've got quite a few of these now. I'm trying to go through all my pet tapes and cut them all out, so that I'm using them more, which I have been using them a lot more recently than I have ever done before. Having them cut out into this sticker book is very convenient, and it definitely puts them in my thoughts to use more often than before. So as you can see, I'm just adding Julie's name and the date, and I will write the letter off camera. Obviously this part is private, but I really love the way the letter pages came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching me decorate them as well. So I've got this folder here that's just full of envelopes, all different shapes, sizes and things like that. I always keep my envelopes when I can, like from a birthday or whatever, and they all just get popped in this folder. And then I've got some decorative ones that I got from AliExpress as well, and some beautiful ones that have been sent to me in other Happy Mails. And so I ended up deciding on these really pretty decorated ones. I actually had planned on decorating the envelopes myself in a sort of vintage theme, but this set just went together so well, so I ended up deciding to just go with these and add labels to them, because let's face it, they are absolutely gorgeous. So I just go in and glue all those envelopes closed, because for whatever reason they aren't closed. And then I'm just going through one of my little wallets, and this has got different vintage styled ephemera pieces. And then I'm just grabbing some decorative doilies, die cut doilies and things like that, to add decorations to the outer envelope. So this white envelope that's got Laurie written on it is the biggest envelope, and so this will be the envelope that holds everything. So I'm just going in and adding some distress ink and vintage photo, just because it's a very stark white colour and I don't want it to be that white as I'm going for that vintage look. So now I'm just kind of playing around with the bits and bobs that I'd pulled out of my wallet, and then I'm going in and adding the decorations. So of course I had to add a bit of my brown doily, and as you can see, I've already got Julie's name written out in the sort of calligraphy way that I like to write the names, sitting to the side there. I like to do this off camera as it takes me quite a while to do, but I absolutely love how it looks. And I even added a doily part to the front of the envelope this time, which is something I don't normally do. I don't usually decorate the front of the envelope, but I had a little bit left over, so I decided just to pop it on the top of the flap area. And of course, adding some vintage book page is a must. And I'd kind of mapped this out off camera, because it took me so long to kind of decide what I wanted to do. So I'm just popping this sort of frame behind the decorative vintage book page, and then I've got this really nice big label, which is where her address will go. And then I've got this tiny little label here where I will write her name for the postman to see. Even though it's written in calligraphy, I like to add her name properly to the letter, just for the postman's eyes, just to make it easier for him if he's not used to seeing calligraphy. But it's just something I like to do. It's obviously not completely necessary, but I do like to do it. So I'm just cutting the outer edge of this sticker, as it was a bit thick or wide for me, and then sticking it down. You probably saw while I was decorating that the sort of see-through stickers I added, I stuck them to white sticker paper first, just to make them more opaque, but this one I felt was opaque enough to sit down on its own without me having to pop her on sticker paper and then cut her out again. And then I'm adding this little bit of sticker lace trim at the bottom. These are really pretty sort of washi tape stickers that I really don't use enough, but I love the effect that they give. So I'm just grabbing some thank you postal worker stickers that I made, and I'm just popping some aside for Julie, and then popping one on the front of the envelope. This is something that I've only recently started adding to my letters, as I only recently made them, but I really love the fact that I've got these on the letters now. And it's just a little nice note to say thank you to the postage people, the people who work with your letters. So as you can see, I added some gold foiled stickers there, which are just absolutely stunning. I love the way the light catches the goldness, like the gold, and reflects on it. A couple of washi dots, and then I'm just going to go in and add a couple of little flowers and things like that. I love this one. It's a rose, and it has a ribbon sort of leading upwards from it. It's just absolutely stunning. This is my pet tape stickers, and I just love the fact that I'm actually using them now, as I have so many beautiful pet tapes that I just never used. So the sticker book is definitely helping me actually use them. So now I'm just adding distress ink to any white bits that are showing on the other envelopes, and then I can start filling them up. So I'm just grabbing a few more extras that I used and didn't kind of put aside for Julie, and then I'm going to look out some labels so that I can obviously pop a label on the envelopes and let her know what's going to be inside. Even though I'm not really going to designate certain things to each envelope, it's really just going to be what fits in what envelope, as obviously they're all different sizes, so I just need to kind of make up little piles of everything based on their size, and then what fits will go into each envelope. So it's not going to be like this is where there's girl stickers and this is where there's ephemera or anything like that. It's just purely going to be what fits. But still, I want to have little labels on the envelopes regardless. So as you can see, I'm popping the tiniest little bits into the smallest envelope, and like I said, I'm just going to make up a few different piles based on size and pop them in the envelopes that they fit inside. Some of them I will need to kind of fold in half. For instance, the doilies won't fit into the envelope, so I have to kind of fold those in half, but for the most part everything fits nicely. Obviously the larger of the envelopes will hold my letter, but the rest of them are all going to be filled with lovely little goodies that I hope Julie will enjoy using in her crafts. And I hope you guys are liking the theme of this. I actually ended up gluing them a little bit too much, and I'd stuck some of the pieces to the inside of the envelopes. I had to go in my bone folder and kind of fix that, which actually resulted in removing it from some of the flaps. I had to go back in and glue those as well. But I'm just going to pop my little label on the back of this envelope, even though she probably won't even really see that label looking back now. But as you can see, I'm just going to start stuffing these envelopes. They're kind of like, I think they're called magpie envelopes, so they've just got little bits and bobs of everything rather than designated things going into each envelope. They're literally just a bunch of goodies in each one. So now I'm just going to write out all the labels and pop them on the envelopes. Some of the labels I did end up swapping out as I felt they were too big for the designated envelope, but for the most part I used these little ones that I made and will hopefully have in the shop sometime soon. And I'm just grabbing these wax seal stickers to seal the envelopes. I think they're actually really pretty, and I don't want to create too much bulk by putting a wax seal on every single envelope, but I will wrap them in twine at the end and then add a wax seal to hold them all together. For the smallest envelope, I actually ended up using this little flower button sticker, which I think is absolutely adorable. But now I'm just adding the labels to all the backs of the envelopes, and then I can obviously go away and write my letter and pop it inside the larger envelope. So that's my letter all written, and I absolutely love how it looks, and I hope Julie does as well. I'm just folding it up now to fit inside its little envelope, and then I can seal that envelope with its little sticker wax seal. But and then I can obviously layer up all the envelopes one on top of the other, which I absolutely love how they look together. Now I'm just going through my Avro twine collection, and then I've just grabbed this sort of pinky Avro twine to go with the sort of pink styled envelopes, and I'm just wrapping it around and a crisscross pattern, and then I'm going to kind of tie it off into a little bow, and then I can add my wax seal. And obviously I only want the wax seal to seal the twine. I don't want it to go onto the envelope underneath, so I will be putting some parchment paper in between so that it doesn't obviously damage the envelope beneath the twine. So now I'm just grabbing all my wax seal bits and bobs, and I'm actually grabbing all my teddy bear styled wax seal heads, as in my last letter to Julie I did a teddy bear theme, and I had planned on sending her some teddy bear wax seals and I completely forgot all about it, so I'm including them in this letter. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking some parchment paper or baking paper, however you call it, and I'm popping a little bit underneath the twine in my letter stack. That way when I add the wax it won't stick to the top envelope, and then I will remove the parchment paper once the wax is dry, and it will only have stuck to the twine. I'm also obviously using parchment paper off to the side here to make the teddy bear wax seals, which I will pop in this little envelope here, where I've written a little note kind of explaining why they're randomly in this Happy Meal. And I'm going to add glue dots to the back of them, and that way she can stick them down however she likes. I'm obviously not using a teddy bear wax seal for the letter stack. I'm adding just a decorative one that I really like. It's actually one of my favourites. But whilst that's kind of cooling, I'm going to go in with some gilding wax and add it to the teddy bears just to make them a bit more obvious in the wax seal, just so that they're not completely like disappearing. However, this gilding wax had somehow dried up, so I ended up swapping it out for the Inca Gold wax, which I actually prefer. It's much brighter in colour, and I think it's prettier. So I just add that to the top of the teddy bear wax seals, and I also add it to the top of the wax seal on the letter stack. And then I obviously remove the parchment paper, and the wax seal is now only attached to the twine and not the letters underneath. I love this little trick. And I would definitely recommend you give it a try. I'm now adding the glue dots to the back of the teddy bears, and I'm going to give them a nice wee score with my bone folder just to make sure they stick nicely. Julie can then peel these off and use them however she likes. I'm now popping them into the envelope, and I will close that with another wax seal sticker, and then I'm just going to slide that in underneath the other envelopes, and then this Happy Meal is complete. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will hopefully see you all again soon. Take care and God bless. Bye.